Hello everyone, I'm here with the general manager of Binance for this region. Hey Kyrylo.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So you're actually Ukrainian?
Yes, I am.
How do you travel these days? Where are you located?
I'm currently in Budapest. I traveled from Budapest, so I flew here for 1 day.
So an Ukrainian talks to Romanian, but you're based in Budapest and you're focusing on the whole region for a company that is based where?
Everywhere, basically. We are serving most of the countries globally, and we have more than 150 million users.
Yeah, but where is actually physically a Binance building on this planet?
There is many, because we try to comply with as more laws and compliance as possible. So for Europe, it's specifically in Paris. There is other regional offices in Asia, in Dubai, etc., etc. So we have a lot of different offices, and we have a lot of regulated exchanges and unregulated markets yet, like Romania, that's hopefully will be regulated shortly.
Hopefully, you've been talking about compliance, regulation, hopefully regulated. That doesn't sound like crypto.
No, it is, and Europe is quite ahead of everyone in this space. In terms
Even more
of
than the Americans.
Yeah, because hopefully when the MiCA starts working here, it will have Europe front-running the global crypto adoption, and will make it a center of the blockchain growth in the world.
So when we're talking about crypto, Binance is one of the leaders in the space. It's actually the biggest market. Is it still the biggest market, the crypto market in the world?
Yeah, we are. Our share is the biggest so far.
So it's a tough game, let's say, to play in different markets, different regulations. How do you see MiCA being something good for the European market? Because I'm hearing not only positives about it.
Yeah, so unfortunately we are in the challenges of lack of trust right now. With the couple of the failures that happened in the industry recently, there is a lack of trust from the regulators, there is a lack of trust from the users, there is a lack of trust from the partners like banks and traditional finance institutions. So when we all work in one framework that has a clear rule for the industry, for the regulators, for the users who are protected, for the companies that knows the rules of making business. So this will boost the crypto adoption and will allow more collaboration with the traditional finance organization, more clarity for the regulators, more trust from the users. So this one framework will really boost the industry. That's what we believe in.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to be blunt. Why should the Europeans or the Americans trust a Chinese originated exchange?
Yeah, we are not Chinese. Yeah, that's the usual feeling because of CZ. He's having the Asian view, but he's also not Chinese. He's Canadian, right? So it's like an interesting thing. But once we have the MiCA in place, we will be fully licensed in Europe. So all our European users will be using the European company to make their operations.
Okay, that's a good sign. But what else makes Binance such an international company? How many employees are there? What are you actually building on? And how are you using this in your talks with politicians and regulators everywhere? Because one of the key reasons you are in Bucharest is not only X Day, you're here to talk to regulators and government officials, from what I hear.
Yeah, that's true. So we are so far the most regulated exchange in the world. Whenever the licensing process is available, we get this license and we are there. And also provided our size and the global scale. You ask about employees, we have around 6,000 employees right now. We work fully remotely. We continue to operate remotely. And we have, I believe, the biggest knowledge and the best practices on the regulations globally, because it's very different across the globe, right? How the regulators are thinking and seeing the regulation, and there is different stages. But we have this concentrated knowledge, and this is to our own interest and to interest of our users and regulators to set up the clear framework as soon as possible. So we are happily collaborating with the regulators, sharing our know-how, knowledge.
What are you actually sharing? Because I've been seeing some of your workshops have been, let's say, leaked online where you show the regulators that you are ready to offer almost any kind of information. So what are the limits of your cooperation with the authorities? Because from what I understand, you're all about full compliance, full transparency to the authorities. Transparency about what?
So that's the two different things, right? You are talking now how we partner with the legal enforcement agencies.
Okay.
And I'm talking about regulation right now. So from the regulational perspective, we are showing what are the different tax rates in the world. What are the different regulation rules that works better or not so good, right? How to apply the MiCA regulation to the local regulation. So that's the framework we are working on with the regulators, and also what you are referring to. We have a big team of the legal enforcement specialists, best in the space of crypto and the potential scams and digital related crimes, that has the experience of working for Interpol and other digital related.
How does it actually work? Because I've seen, let's say lately in the past few days, I've seen the reports about investigations concerning also terrorism activities and money being, let's say, pushed around through, let's say, different channels. One of the channels being Binance Pay. How do you look at the crypto, the money flow through your networks when, let's say, different entities are concerned? Do you, let's say, do you work proactively? Do you go to the authorities, or do you expect authorities to come to you and ask for information? How does it actually work?
Yeah, so there is another topic, which is sanctions, right? So we have like a team of around 1,000 people that are only focused on compliance.
So 1 in 6 employees works on sanctions.
Not sanction, compliance in general. So it's in legal enforcement and sanctions and the transactional monitoring that you refer to, filling the compliance rules for every of our users, etc. So with the legal enforcement, there is a two-way communication. When we see some suspicious activity happening on our platform, we may report to legal enforcement.
On your own, let's say, initiative.
Our own analysis, as well as there is another way. If the local legal enforcement authority understands that there is a potential cyber crime happening, they also partner with our investigation team to track it down and to stop this cyber crime. So there is like a two-way communication.
So what are your triggers? When do you see what happening? Do you go to the authorities?
So that's very individual, right, based on the cases. But we track down the sanctions, the dark market, the suspicious transactions, all the IML, automatic monitoring systems, etc., etc. So there's many ways how to monitor the suspicious users' behavior and some dirty, let's say, crypto.
Can you share some of the things you've been observing in the past few days? Because there's a lot of concern about how are terrorist organizations being financed through crypto. And we need to settle that, because if we put crypto and terrorists in the same sentence, it's not a good thing for anyone.
Absolutely. So we do not allow any sanctions or terrorist-relating financials, no donations for the arms, no donations for any war-related activity. And this is not related to Middle East only, it's related to the global landscape. So we do not allow this activity in our platform. We proactively monitor it, and we proactively work with the legal enforcement authorities in every country.
Have you seen a spike in transactions, let's say smaller transactions through different users trying to bypass your, let's say, AML filters or stuff like that?
No, I cannot comment on that. I don't have this data.
Because there's been comments online showing that some, let's say, interested parties were trying to move funds through your network, and some of your people saw that inside the network and they reported it.
I don't know about this case.
Okay.
I don't have this information.
You follow AML rules, you follow geographies and sanctions. Is there, let's say, a threshold for transactions when you activate your filters and notify the authorities?
I don't think there is like one threshold, if it's 100,000 or 10,000 or 1,000. I think it's like a risk-based approach that depends on many factors.
Give me some of those factors.
So the risk level of the users, the transactions, the parties these users transact with, the amount of his volumes, the number of the transactions, etc., etc. So this is a big number of the factors that are automatically processed by like more than 10 different systems that do the transactional monitoring. And I think that it's like at the level of this, we are not worse than any European bank.
Not worse, but just as good?
Yeah, maybe even better.
Because everything in crypto is, let's say, monitored.
It's transparent, right?
And it has a footprint.
Exactly.
It has a digital footprint.
Exactly.
Do you log everything? Is there, let's say, a cutoff? Do you delete your records after, let's say, I don't know, 5 years? Because in Romania, for tax reasons, you need to go back at least 5 years.
So for Romanians specifically, we have just introduced the product that's called Binance Tax. When you don't need to track all your transactions, price fluctuations, etc., you can just upload your capital gains for a fixed period of time, and you see what's your capital gains, and you can easily pay the taxes. So that's how we make the life of our users easier, and it's not limited in time. So the blockchain data stays in the blockchain forever. So it's actually much more clearer, much more transparent.
Which blockchain? Because we are talking about a centralized exchange for transactions happening on Binance. For how long can I go back?
For as long as this coin being initiated. It's all clear, you can easily see it online.
Okay, so there's no cutoff. So if the authorities want to go back, let's say more than 5 years back, they have this possibility on your network?
They don't, because the Binance is just 5 years old.
At least 5 now, for now.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many people are actually using Binance Tax? Because most of our viewers most probably haven't filed for tax, because for a specific reason, we are in the bear market. Not so many people made a profit in the past year. But do you see people turning to this service? Are you encouraging users to do that on a regular basis? Because I haven't seen a notification or an email, hey, it's about time you should do your tax or stuff like that.
So what we do is we are giving them the tools and the products that they need. And we basically created this product because of the feedback we are getting from our users to make their life easier. But currently there is no law for us to report any user's activity and any user's capital gains. That's currently the responsibility of every user. We're just giving the tools to make it as easy as possible.
After Mika, will there be a possibility that you would be forced into, let's say, reporting immediately after a certain threshold?
So that would be actually the decision of every country, but currently we don't see these requirements anywhere. We don't have it in any of the countries so far.
One of the key things we are looking at for the sustainability of an exchange or any crypto service out there is how long can they support a credit card, a debit card, a piece of plastic that you can actually use for transactions. And Binance Card still works. Do you have any guarantees for the users of Binance Card that will be the case also for the next year?
Well, it depends on the many factors. Again, it depends on the card system, it depends on the bank, it depends on us. So, yeah.
Because the guys at Multiversex told us that it was very complicated, but they actually managed to have their own card here in Romania. Do you see, let's say, a solid future for the Binance card?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great that they did it, and we support any of the projects like this because it builds the crypto adoption and make the industry better for everyone. There is no competition. It's actually a very great thing for us too. So, especially when the bull market hits, everyone will want to have their money on crypto and being able to spend it for the coffee, hotels, etc., etc. So yeah, I think it's a very good product, and it helps our users, to be flexible.
So you're actually holding up pretty well. I have another tough one, and that's going to be about the last one.
Sure.
I'm going to say SEPA, and you're going to say what?
Good thing. We are just introduced the new provider that that can do the euro transactions on the system, and we are onboarding few more.
So it's been a while since you wouldn't allow, let's say, funding from euro through SEPA, which was a great feature. It was very fast and very efficient. Why was that?
It was not very long time. It's just few weeks that we are changing the fiat provider for SEPA, and that's it.
How long is that gonna be out there? Because it's been tricky in the past few years, seeing a feature like this being introduced and then pulled after a while. Are you confident after Mika that will be a steady thing, a sure thing, and the regulators will not come after you?
Yeah, so there is always a risk, right? With like
Why is that?
with any business and with any partnership, because currently crypto is still a high risk. So in the eyes of the regulators, traditional finance banks, it's high risk because it's not regulated. But as you said, as soon as the regulation come in place, and we see the clear framework for all the industry players, this will open all the doors for all the partnership, traditional finance and the crypto.
Why wouldn't you buy a bank? Why wouldn't I have an IBAN for the Binance account?
Maybe we will.
Maybe you will.
Yeah.
I think we got enough. I think we got even more than we bargained for. So thank you, Kyrylo.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
So you're the general manager for the entire area.
Central and Eastern Europe and Ukraine.
How big is Romania in that space?
It's pretty big. It's like a third country in terms of the population and in terms of our users in the whole region. After Ukraine and Poland, which is obviously double population.
Of course.
But from all the countries of the CE, I'm mostly visiting Romania. And it's because there is a lot of events, there is a lot of conferences, so the Romanian community from all the region is the most active one and the most advanced one.
Thank you, Kyrylo. Thank you again, and thank you to our viewers. If you enjoyed this one, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more videos about crypto, blockchain, and anything else.